So, yeah, that could be a donation incentive right there. Name the character. You do see the character name pretty much throughout the whole thing on the bottom screen, I believe. Okay. So for this run, for our marathon submission, I am going to name myself Demo, because that's who I am. 3, 2, 1, go. So welcome to River King Mystic Valley. This is a fishing game released for the Nintendo DS. It also is the last game that was ever released in the River King series, unfortunately. It seems to be a little dead. Hopefully Marvelous will decide to make a new game in the future. I think it was going in a really interesting direction personally. If you've never heard of River King, it is the less popular cousin of Harvest Moon. It's actually called Harvest Fishing in Europe instead of River King. And it is a game series about fishing. So with Marvelous, you have Harvest Moon, which is farming and animals and relationships. You have Rune Factory, which is farming and animals and relationships and combat. And then you have River King, which trades out the farming for the fishing. There are some relationships, but there's no marriage or anything like that. It's more of a fishing simulator than anything. But they did add these cute storylines in the games. Yeah, Retro, this is the last release, and I think it was like 2007. So we are overdue. And the story right now is that our sister is sleeping. And the only thing that can cure our sister is, us catching the River King and potentially feeding it to her. I don't know if that's ever specifically said. So there is one major piece of speedrun tech here, which we have to hit, otherwise the run is over. And that is the declining the tutorial. Very, very important. Of course I know how to fish. If you say you don't know how to fish, it is like an insane amount of time loss. Okay, so we have our stuff equipped. So first thing is first here, we have to catch 3 fish to be able to leave the pond screen. Some of these fish might not be interested in like our beginner bait, which is fine. Because eventually we will be able to catch 3 of them. And you might think I'm losing time here and that the perfect run is going to require... well, I'm actually kind of stunned. You might think I'm losing time here and that the perfect run would require us to get, like, immediate fish. But it's actually not true because of throughout the game you get pets, and these pets need to be leveled up. So we actually, not only do we need to catch extra fish throughout the run, but everything we do ends up helping us through points, which allows us to get better gear and also like level up. So we're going to put these in our basket for now. And the first thing we have to do is catch 3 fish to give to our first pet. Something we have to do in order to progress. We cannot get to the next screen without catching 3 fish. There is some sort of weird... To describe the controls in this game, you don't need to use the touchscreen. There are some things where the touchscreen is actually just better. Like menuing. And there's also touchscreen casting. But it's a little finicky, and it doesn't end up helping too much if you're able to... if you're able to diagonal cast, that's pretty much like the best you can do no matter what. Okay, that guy did not want our bait. So the way that the fish work in this game is that some of them are just not interested in certain baits or flies or other things. So I'm not too offended that these fish aren't biting. They're probably just fish that specifically don't like the bait that I have on. And this is actually like... this is pretty brutal for like the first screen of the game. Like to have you in an area where the fish don't want to bite what you have is kind of rough for new players. When I first started playing, I was like, I can't believe how hard it is to catch fish, but it actually gets easier as the game goes on. So the way fishing works here is that there is a health meter and a tension meter. Well, I guess it's not really a health meter, it's more of an energy meter. And then you make these circles on the touchscreen in order to reel the fish in. You can make slow circles or fast circles, and you know, depending on what you're doing, you either reel it in faster, but the tension meter goes up faster. It's kind of nuanced, in a good way. Like, you can be good or bad at fishing in this game. So yeah, just looking at my splits right now, like, losing a minute on this first split is whatever. Because so much of the game is going to be RNG based that, you know, a minute here or there is easily going to get made up later, or it's going to get even worse. So I will probably submit this with a 3-hour estimate. And then if I do happen to go under, I can try to make that work. Can show off some other stuff, or try to fit a different game. But I very much doubt I would go too far under, because my record of 235 had pretty good luck the whole way. So right now my plan is to submit for 3 hours, but with this submission video, you know, hopefully it will be under 3 hours, but it could be, you know, between like 250 and 310. Yeah, Retro brings up a good point that there are 3 pets, and we could name each of the 3 pets based on donation incentives. The first pet is not really used too much, so probably not that one. I think I gotta leave it and come back. But the second and third pet are used pretty extensively. So there are two types of River King games. The original River King, the one that came out for the Nintendo, that was never released in America. And then there was a Super Nintendo game, there were Game Boy games. Some remakes came out for the Game Boy Advance. A lot of the games, most of the games, they also have combat, right? And in this game, they got rid of the combat in favor of, like, these interesting, like, side quests with, like, stories. I don't really know how else to describe it other than, like, just like a more fleshed out story in this game, and we got rid of the combat. But you can do other things, like collecting bugs and flowers. And then they have this interesting card system where you collect multiple of the same fish. Okay, yeah, it must be during certain times only. So that was Ren's sister, and now here's Ren. And these two kind of follow us along throughout the game. They help us with, like, various tasks, and we need them to progress. All of these scenes that I'm seeing are story-specific. There are, like, side quests, but I'm essentially following each one of these story quests, like, one after the other, just to beat the game as fast as I can. So if you're a speed reader, you can tell what's going on. If not, they're going to help us, or they're going to attempt to help us find the River King. I'm going to take a quick cutscene break here and try to catch these things. We need 5 of them. Well, the fact that neither one of those bit is pretty sad. Okay, well, we couldn't get them. Yeah, the big fish end up giving more points, which is helpful. But also, we just need, we need 5 white-spotted trout very soon, like the next part of the cutscenes. But we want to catch some big fish because they give more points, and it costs just like 1 bait to get them. But like 1 white-spotted trout might be worth like 60 points, which is like, you know, 10 or 12 bait. So catching the little fish gives you like a small amount of points. Catching the big fish is actually really great. So they're trying to find a way. We found this log. They're trying to find a way to float down the river. In this particular run, we do not catch every type of fish. If there was like a 100% category, this game would take like 10 plus hours, I think. We catch, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 minimum. We're going to see more than 8, but 8 minimum for the run. And there's probably, if I had to guess, there's 30 to 40 different types of fish. Oh my god, please. Okay, so with these bigger fish, I do have to be a little careful because we have the beginner equipment, and it's very easy for me to snap the line, which, that loses me a bait, which is no good. Fortunately, this one came in rather easily. So that is white spotted trout number 1 of 5. So yeah, you can see it gave me 61 SP, which are the points in the game. Okay, so I'm going to re-enter this screen a few times and try to farm up some white spotted trouts. If they're not like right here, I'm gonna just reset the screen and try again, because it's not worth running around and trying to fight with these things when you can just reload the screen so quickly. That one, if it swims this way, it might be doable. Nope. We do still need to talk to Ren, so... No, come back. We only have one more bait as well, so we will have to restock on bait. But as far as donation incentives go, you can see that on the top screen. So on the left side of my stream right now, there are the name of me and the name of my pet is basically visible throughout nearly the entire run. So, you know, if somebody wants to put some name or something funny up there, they will get a lot of screen time. So this is Ren. This is Ren telling us he wants the white spotted trout card, which requires us to give 5 white spotted trout to the lady on the other screen. So this is kind of twofold. We're trying to get the white spotted trout, and then at the same time we are also trying to get an 8-inch IU for the next part of the story. That's another mechanic in this game that's relatively common in River King games, is people want fish of a certain size. So as far as donation incentives go, or not donation incentives, but kind of like donation train type things. Like if people were like, oh yeah, I'll donate $8 for every IU he catches that's not 8 inches. That would actually be just like an unreal amount of money, or it could be no money, because I believe there's like a 6-inch IU, 7-inch IU, and then 8 and up. So 10 bait. You know what? I'm gonna start looking for the foxtail. That is a cricket. Oh, this is another thing, is I'm probably supposed to restock my bait before it runs out. Because if you just buy additional bait, it will just add to your total. Whereas if you run out, you have to like re-equip it. Yeah, there are bugs in the game, and there are flowers as well. Okay, this fish is unfortunately like right in the middle of areas we can't get to. Because we have the smallest rod right now. So we can't cast super far. The fly rod that we're going to get later on, that will cast a little further for us, which is helpful. But we are essentially only going to get one rod upgrade the whole time. I guess two, if you count the very last upgrade that you get before you go to the River King. So I am actually unsure if that is 3 or 4. And, you know, I can actually count to 5, but I'm trying to keep track of quite a few things and also try to talk. I will probably end up just getting one more anyway for the points. So not a huge concern if I go over. So yeah, it's really easy to break those large fish off your pole, the beginner pole. Obviously, not what we wanted to do, but hopefully it won't take too long to correct that mistake. You know, sometimes the tension meter goes up really quickly when you're not expecting it to. So yeah, that was not a huge error. Still, we wish it didn't happen, but the run will never be perfect because there are so many luck-based things. You know, if we happen to get an 8-inch IU immediately and then 5 SEMA and 5 char immediately, and then everything else goes, you know, really nicely, 28-inch great brown later, then, you know, even then I still couldn't consider the run to be perfect. Just based on the nature of, like, the fish ignoring your bait and stuff like that. Casts not going exactly where you want them to. Yo, what's up, lady? White spotted trout, please. Now we tell Ren we've got the card. And he will help us get to the waterfall. Hey, what's up, Eddie? How's it going? Thank you for being here. We are running this to submit to a marathon, so Thank you for showing up and proving that people will actually watch this game. Or me. Yeah, we've been messing with River King. There are a few games in the series that I'm interested in running. I mean, eventually I'd like to run the whole thing, but some of them are a little bit daunting. Well, thanks, man. I hope you'll show up to the marathon if this run gets accepted. So this is one of the characters that would be good for a donation incentive to name the pet. Yeah, this is on a DS. So we do need to switch because we need to start leveling up this pet. Boom. So it looks like time save, but I probably had already started on the IU or the SEMA or the Char in the other run. So Monado here is going to ask us for a an 8-inch IU, and not only are they relatively uncommon, but they're relatively uncommon to get at that high of a size. There are several places that they can be right now, but the place that I've had the most success is actually, this is an unfortunate scene that we don't need to see, but we can't avoid it. So Ren's going to talk to her about Chum. Like, eventually we have to come back to the mountain stream, so it's unavoidable, but it really has nothing to do with the story. So this has the potential to be an IU. Also, it has the potential to be a SEMA. So the fish in this area specifically are good for us to catch. As you can see here, it's not super easy to get the right diagonals and stuff. And he's going to try to avoid us. This could be a SEMA. Oh, actually, it could be an IU. Some of these fish look very similar. Okay, that is an IU. What's the size? Alright, well, I was actually not expecting to get that so quickly. I think this has to be morning. Oh no, it could have been night. Eight inches. Every time. I am pretty consistent getting the 8-incher out. So this is an interesting character in this game, sort of like a little goblin. We gotta wash his beans. Everyone needs their beans washed. So I am actually extremely bad at this minigame. Like, I'm really, really, really bad at this minigame. I have failed it many times. I'm actually gonna look at the capture, because it's hard to see on the DS, like, where I haven't washed. I don't know. And sometimes, like, you can see... I feel like you're doing well when the game is giving you the little, like, wet symbols. The water droplets, but, like... I don't know. Like, I can tell there's still some over here, but it's not giving me any, like, feedback that I'm doing it right or not. Yeah, so I wasn't joking about being able to lose this minigame. Like, it's actually kind of rough. The rest of the minigames in this are not too terrible, but this one is really obnoxious for some reason. I don't even see anywhere where there's... Am I good? I must be good, right? I'm trying my best. Whoops, did not mean to come back in here. So this is not accurate time save at all. Yeah, I saw that one spot, but I kept trying to rub it and no luck. So, this is one of the only fishing games I know of that also has cat girls in it. So that's something unique. So, now, very confused by what we just saw, we need to go talk to the talking tree. And this is going to be where I lose a bit of time. Because I need 5 SEMA, and I need that bellflower. And while I'm working on the SEMA, I really should try to get the char as well. I have like a list of requirements to beat the game, and essentially what I should be doing at all times is working towards that list being completed. So I need 5 SEMA, 5 char, 10 of any fish, 28-inch great brown, a white SEMA, a white rice fish, one of those rare salmon. Some of that stuff I cannot get until I have the fly rod, but all the earlier stuff I can kind of stockpile at one time. So she wants me to go pick a bellflower, which we tried to get earlier and did not achieve it. So here's hoping. Nope. There are multiple places to search in this screen, but just like resetting for the white spotted trout, it's much faster to just leave and come back, check this safe spot, or the close spot, I mean. If this doesn't yield any results, I will probably start running circles, check the other places. Bellflower, okay. So we have to collect a cloth. We have to get a bean, and then we have to get a fish of any kind. Unfortunately, to get the bean, we need 5 SEMA, and SEMA is relatively uncommon. It's one of those fish where they're all over, but not in great numbers. Like, you can get them on lots of screens. So like these small fish up here can be SEMA. This is not a SEMA. This is going to be a goby or a Chinese minnow. But like I was saying at the very beginning of the run, even if we start catching fish of the wrong type, it actually is okay to an extent. Because you'll see here, once I fish up this, whatever it is, I'm going to feed it to my pet. My pet's going to gain some experience. And I have to level up the pets. Ooh, it's a sculpin. Some of them just look very similar. So we're going to give it to the pet. And he gained a little bit of experience. That's another thing about catching the larger fish. The larger fish tend to give like way more of a experience boost to the pets. So catching these small fish is, still not great. I would still like to get 5 SEMA in a row. But the chances are just so astronomically low that I don't think this run will never be like fully as optimized as it could be. And I think that's fine. I think games that have a super high level of RNG like this are actually totally fine for speedrunning. As long as you don't get like one singular person in there who's just grinds it into a pulp. Because there are definitely some RNG-based speedruns out there where like one person grinds it really hard and essentially kills the run for everybody else. And I hope that this never becomes one of those games. Which I don't think it will. It's very niche. Red-spotted trout, that looked like it could have been a SEMA. I think this one is it. Yeah, the pet doesn't like it. So probably going forward, I will not give any red-spotted trouts to the pet. Because it doesn't give him much experience, and we need to stockpile 10 of them at some point anyway. So I've caught like 5 fish, and none of them are a SEMA. So that's pretty brutal. And I'm going to go buy more bait before I run out. I don't actually want to buy too much because I am trying to save up for the fly rod. I need a fly rod and a wet fly at some point. I'm going to catch this guy down here. Yeah, it's hard. It's honestly hard to say, but this could be a Japanese minnow, Chinese minnow, Japanese minnow. Yeah. So the pet likes Japanese minnow, doesn't like the bullheads or the red spotted trouts. I think this is a SEMA. I'm not going to let it swim away. We have our first fish that pulled off to the side. We got to course correct here. That is a SEMA. Sam, how do you feel about the SEMA? I tried to get Desert with a SEMA joke when we were working on this game originally, and he did not fall for it. Because you have to catch 5 SEMA and 1 white SEMA. But he just wouldn't say the word. I'm not sure why that is. So yeah, I've caught like 10 fish, and one of those fish was a SEMA. One was a char, which I will hold on to for later, but yeah, you can see how this is pretty RNG heavy, which is why my estimate will not be world record level. My pet doesn't like these. Man, that was nowhere near you. Hey, what's up, SBL? How's it going? Another white spotted char. At least my pet likes these. Oh, Ponta grew into an orange ball with a leaf on its head. There is definitely a world out there where when I do hook something that's not a SEMA or a char, I just immediately like break the line off. But since I still need points for the fly rod, I don't necessarily want to waste my bait. And I think before I can switch over to the fly rod fully, I need 600 points. SEMA are also available on the waterfall screen, which is also where the goblin is at. But they are still the same amount of uncommon frequency, and it's kind of difficult to catch the stuff on the waterfall screen with the basic rod. You can't cast far enough to really do it. My one big complaint about this game is that there is no music unless you're in one of those cutscenes. But I've complained about this before, and people have said, no, it's because fishing is supposed to be quiet and tranquil and peaceful, and I guess I understand. But I wish there was just like some sort of music or something during these fishing scenes. SEMA. See, a SEMA is great. It's worth 34 points. What I don't want to be catching is the smaller fish that don't give as much. But unfortunately, like, once I hook it, I either let it go and lose the bait, or I reel it in and get a small amount of points. This could be a char. I never want to try to call what it is before I reel it in, because several of the fish have sprites that are just like nearly identical to one another. Whatever this is, it's putting up a fight. Yeah, it feels really empty. What I do think would be kind of interesting is, especially during these longer grindy sections, if we had some sort of media share where people could play music from like YouTube videos or whatever. Ooh, I ran out of bait. I did not intend to run out of bait there. Obviously, with music, you want to be careful with DMCA and whatnot, but at least it would be something. So that is potentially my last restock of bait, because when I go back next, I should, in theory, be able to purchase the fly rod. So I believe that's 2 char and 2 SEMA, which is not great at this point, but it's not bad either. Yeah, to just have both of those fish just blatantly ignore what I threw out there, that is It is frustrating. Ooh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, some other video game music, possibly by the same developer. Wow, these things are really not interested in what I'm throwing right now. Finally. So at least my pet likes white spotted char, so I don't feel like that was a total waste. There's also like I could actually also catch a great brown on this screen and keep the 28-inch great brown for later. But the great brown only spawns in like one very specific area. So unless I see it there, a large shadow in that space, I probably won't go for it. Well, 3 char for later. But that also means I have to get the bag upgrade. Oh, maybe it doesn't. Now that I'm looking at that again. Giving the ogre the 10 fish is not until after the char. Actually, I'm not sure what this is. A Dolly Yarden. One of the pets does like this, and one of them doesn't. I don't remember which one is which. Yeah, he likes it. Oh, boy. I still will get the bag upgrade if I end up over there and I have the points for it. It does save time. But you can technically beat this run without the bag upgrade at all. So this one I will just throw in the bag. So we are on day 2 of me streaming and Desert not being around, which is pretty off-putting. Normally he is at least partially available, but he didn't even bother showing up yesterday. But I do appreciate everybody being here. Just want you guys to know. Some of you might be asking, what happens when that blue energy bar goes to 0? And the answer is, honestly, I don't know. I've never let it happen. But I think you just pass out and go back to the house. Run it out? Maybe. If I get the opportunity to let it run out, I'll think about it. Because at some point I have to go back to the house. So I might as well get it replenished while I'm there. I think this is a char. I'm sorry, a SEMA. Yep. Yeah, fishing technique up. I'm an amateur. Yeah, I guess I'll get rid of the IU. No longer need that. So yeah, you can see that the bar now filled back up because I got the fishing technique up. So I did not get the opportunity to run it out this time. But it does get pretty low at various parts of the run. Oh, he's looking very raccoony tanuki-ish. I think this is a SEMA. It's not. Okay. I'm going to give it to the pet, even though he doesn't like it, since I ran out of bag room. He still gets, like, some experience, but not a ton. But yeah, there's definitely, like, some speedruns feel really stressful, and, you know, some, like, hurt your hands after so long. This game is actually really calm. Like, the fishing is pretty relaxed. And even though I'm, like, probably losing time through, you know, not getting the SEMA right away, it doesn't feel that bad to play. And I know I can make up the time later. My last run, lost a ton of time to, various things. Yeah, so it's 400 points for the next basket. So now we have the fly rod, and the game changes a little bit for us. Not a ton, but a bit. We can cast a little bit further, and if you catch the fish, which, you know, we very rarely miss the fish. If you catch the fish, you get your fly back, which is insane. So if we play correctly, we should no longer have to go back to that guy for anything. Except the bag upgrade, if we want it later. Oh, whoops. Not paying attention there. I would say the biggest benefit is probably the fact that you don't have to go buy more bait, but casting longer is also just a huge, huge benefit. Reaching those, like, hard-to-reach fish. But you can see that some of these fish don't like the fly. I'm actually going to reset the screen here. You know what? I'm going to try to catch this just in case it is a great brown. Oh, just kidding. No, I'm not. So yeah, if I snap off the fly, that is a pretty big expense. Each wet fly is 60 points. So I definitely don't want to do that. Especially because it's like, if I only have like 20 points, then I need to go buy regular bait and then get more points to rebuy a fly. So I definitely do not want to lose this fly. Let's count the SEMA while we're here. 1, 2, 3. So this is SEMA number 4. Okay, this is a great brown. So I have to be very careful because this is a high-level fish, and I'm catching it way earlier than intended. And just like I said before, I really do not want to snap off the fly, so I have to be extra careful. And if this great brown happens to be 28 inches or higher, we just saved like 15 minutes over the world record. That took forever to get a great brown. So let's see. Let's see what it is. Okay. All right. So yeah, we're going to keep that one. Well, gee whiz. Okay, that's really great. So now I have to be pretty careful about this run, because I don't want to lose this. Because we're making good progress on char, and we have the great brown already. There's still, like, several fish that can totally kill this run. The white rice fish can take a long time. So at this point right now, I would like to finish up the SEMA. That way I make room for the char. So let's, I think that might be 5. Let's try to count these. One, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that is great. I think this is either morning or night for the goblin. So he is going to ask us for 5 SEMA, and we will give those to him. I think we still have to wash the beans. Okay, so that is 5 SEMA for him. I think we already have the cloth. Again, I want to stress that I really don't know, like, the wind condition here. Apparently that was good enough, so we'll take it. I hope morning is a good time for this. If it's not, I'll write it down. So let's give her this bullhead. And that should be everything. So this is our fishing game cat girl dance scene. It's pretty standard for this genre. And then after this we go back to the tree to see Kappa. And then we need the special salmon. Mountain Stream, Large Shadow, South. So the tanuki and the bird are 2 pets that we need to level up. So any donation incentives would be going to those 2 because those are the ones we actually spend some time with. Oh, am I wrong? I don't have a specific time of day listed for areas. So I'll write down nighttime. So Kappa, you know, famously wants a cuke, so we've got to get a cuke for Kappa. So I'm going to try to get this special salmon and get this cuke and finish up the char all at the same time here. This doesn't give me a specific time of day for the special salmon, so I think it's any time. But I need I need like a large shadow at the bottom pool down here, so. Okay, I don't see it. I'm going to fish up stuff in this little pool, because this should be char. Or it has a chance of being char. Because I need at least 1 or 2 more char. I think it's 2. I think. And still not the right size shadow down here, unfortunately. Okay, that could be it. Please don't despawn. Please turn around. Don't swim that way. Man, he looked at it. He was definitely interested. It's just fast-moving water down here. I actually do think this is the correct fish. I think. It is. Okay, we're good. Okay, so while I'm thinking about it, I'm going to grab this bag upgrade. Because I just got enough points for it. And we trade that fish we just caught to somebody down here who is not here during morning time, which I should write down. So we want this guy's cuke for Kappa. One, two, three, four. So we only have 4 char. That's fine. We'll get one later. Thank you, sir, for your cuke. So now we have that for Kappa. And before I continue, I am going to try to get that last char while it's still on my mind. I don't believe this is it. I think this is a SEMA. Oh, it is a red spotted trout. You know what? I'm going to put it in the basket. I know that my current pet doesn't like it too much. Yeah, there was still one fish. I could barely see it. This might be the same kind of fish. We do need extra fish right now because we have to give 10 to the ogre later on. I'm just trying to get one last char before we finish up this split. Well, we've found the place for red-spotted trout, that's for sure. This also could be a time of day thing. Red-spotted trout might be more common at night. But again, I don't have a time of day listed, which when I was writing these notes, I made sure to test that all this stuff was technically available. So, like, if chars didn't exist at night, I would have wrote it down. And I didn't write it down, which means they're probably out there, and I'm just getting a little bit unlucky. So you can see that it looks like I'm losing time over my PB. These splits are kind of irrelevant. I should save time in a later split because of the Great Brown. That is a char, but not the right kind of char. And yes, I've tried. No worries, Retro. The run's going pretty good. I already have a fish that I need for later on. So even though we're losing a little bit of time on this split, we should save some time later on. I could have technically already ended this split and like moved on to the next one, but I'm just trying to finish up some stuff. So none of these were char. So I'm going to go talk to Kappa, and we will get a char on the next screen, I think. That's probably the play. I'm going to try this one last fish. I know it's going to be a char because it's being annoying. So it will definitely be worth the time I spent trying to catch it. That is not a char. But yeah, a lot of the rest of the run is just going to fall into place. Because we already have a lot of the stuff that we need. So we are delivering the cucumber to Kappa. We're going to the next area, where we will talk to the weasel, go check out the weeds, come back, give the weasel 5 char. Which we don't currently have. We need to catch another char. But they are available on the screen that the weasel's on, so hopefully we can just get one real quick. Weasel is available morning and daytime. Oh yeah, they like jump around. Okay, this minigame is not too difficult. You're basically just tapping on the weeds, and then when like a big string of weeds appears, you're swiping. And you could just swipe all the time, but you don't want to hit these flowers. I don't know the win condition for that one, but it's pretty easy. I'm gonna check these smaller fish here and hope that they are a char. I believe you can repeat them. So this one is not a char for sure. But these higher level fish have a potential to like really level up the pets. So hopefully, even though this isn't a char, hopefully this is worth a lot of points for the pet. No, he didn't like a brown trout. If we get another brown trout, we'll save it. Because I do need to level up the bird. I'm actually going to see if the pet currently can break the rocks. Okay, so he already can break the rocks, so I don't need to worry about leveling the pet right this second. I just need to worry about getting one more char. Can't reach that. Gonna check the pool during the daytime. I had really good luck with char here. So maybe it was just a nighttime thing. Now that it's daytime, let's see what happens. This is not a char. This is not a char either. This is something I probably should have talked about immediately, but as far as fishing mechanics go, you obviously don't want the tension line to get all the way to the top, but also, like, the fishing line on the bottom screen, or in this case, the right-hand screen, the closer it gets to, like, vertical, the closer you are. So sometimes I will risk, you know, the line or the tension going higher when the fish is very close to being caught. Yeah, this is kind of shocking. Usually SEMA is the thing I struggle with, and char is pretty easy. Like, I've never not gotten, like, 90% char out of this pool before. Yeah, I'll definitely just get one off of the mountain lake. Or upper waterfall. Whoops. I hope my fly didn't break. My fly did break. So yeah, that's just like a slight time loss. Not super critical. I'm probably going to buy 2 flies just in case that happens again. So right now we are trying to unlock the swamp. And in order to do that, we have to investigate these weeds. So now it says, hey, find somebody to cut these weeds up. And fortunately, we know just the guy. But unfortunately, Guy will ask us for 5 char. So yeah, there's no money, it's just points. SP. And you gain SP by catching fish. And possibly, like, handing in bugs and plants to get cards and stuff as well. But obviously, catching fish is the name of the game, so... Can you please just care about my bait? Yeah, it's, the fish are pretty, like, they follow a pattern, like, they'll swim for a certain amount of time, and then they'll change direction. So, like, generally it's pretty easy to tell where you're supposed to cast. But sometimes, instead of changing direction, they'll just do, like, a longer swim in one specific area. Like, what is this guy doing all the way down here? And why is he not interested in my bait in any way? Okay. So out of, like, on a scale of 1 to 10, I'm like a level 42 frustrated about this last jar. But that's okay. So even with the fly rod, like, this screen is just slightly too big to, like, have a realistic shot at catching this stuff on, like, a first cast. Oh, this might be a char. So I do not want to lose it. All right, what a game. So now we can move on to the swamp. Not quite yet, but we're getting there. This could potentially world record if the white Sema and the white ricefish cooperate. Because the rest of the game from here on out is kind of free. It's like 2 remaining rare fish. So that is swamp. And after this section, I'm going to go get the other pet because we are going to be hanging up the tanuki. This ogre is hungry, and we are going to feed him 10 of any fish. I know. I'm actually kind of hungry as well. Okay, so I don't have enough fish right this second. I thought I would have, but I guess the game has been going pretty well, so we didn't have like a ton of extra. So at minimum, I need to catch 2 because I'm holding on to that great brown. You know what? Actually, we're going to do it this way. Instead of me struggling with these fish that are in hard-to-reach places, I'm going to switch out my pet, and I'm going to go back to Mountain Stream to catch the easy fish. This is another one of these unavoidable scenes, because I have to switch my pet out at some point, so I would have eventually seen this scene no matter what. So mountain stream, and we're going back to the old reliable left pool here, just to finish up our fish that we need. I probably should just check the basket. Yeah, I'll just check, just so I know exactly how many I'm at. We're at 10 exactly. So I need one more to keep my great brown. And there's the char that I was looking for earlier. In the pool, right where I knew it would be. Okay. Back to the swamp, but not during the day. So we are going to give this guy every fish but our great brown. Yeah, it's, once you get a handle on, like, the casting, it actually is probably more relaxing than frustrating. And once you also realize that there's, like, some fish are just not interested in the current bait you have, so they just ignore your cast, even if it's perfect. Once you know those things, it just becomes very, like, therapeutic in a way to just cast and fish. There are some of these bigger fish, like this guy I want to catch, because my pet is currently very underleveled. And one of these big fish is it's like a, I guess I'm going to use Harvest Moon terms here. It's like a loved gift for my pet, and he'll level up, like, really quickly. So even though these fish take a while to catch, they're worth a lot of experience to my pet. So it's worth spending the time doing it. And yeah, you can see that, like, I just don't have the right equipment. I'm getting like 2 or 3 reels in, and then the tension's almost breaking the line off. So this is going to be like a 3 to 5 minute, like, fish battle, if I even catch it, which I might not. He might actually just pull too far to the side. They do tire out, but some of them just take forever to do so. And it's like one mistake of reeling for too long and the fish you just lose the fish. But this is like, I don't really know what to compare it to in terms of Harvest Moon. But it's like, you know, if you just like follow the rules of the fishing, like, you know, give him some line. Like, you're basically trying to tire the fish out. And you can tell looking at the top screen or the left screen that, like, even though this is taking a while, like, the fish is getting closer. Like, we are making progress here. Got him. Ooh, I'm not sure if this is the right fish. Hopefully my pet really enjoys this fish. Oh, thank God. So yeah, my pet almost leveled up twice off that one fish. So definitely a battle worth participating in. And I need the pet to have the ability to fly, or else I'm going to get stuck pretty soon. So I need to be working on this stuff. Yeah, there's one of these that this pet doesn't like. But the Wonder Hutchin was one of them that it did like. And he'll still level up from that. So he doesn't... I don't think he has the ability to, like, fully fly the thing that I need him to do later. So I'd like to level him up one more time. And, obviously getting that one particular fish that he likes would be ideal. That ain't it. I mean, that still gave him a good amount of experience because it was a bigger fish. But obviously, the loved fish gave just like so much experience. And standing around here catching these fish is fine. We're standing right next to the next story area. Wow. Okay, so that's 3 in a row of the thing he doesn't like. Not super ideal. Here's what I'll do. I'll continue. And then if like, he flies on this screen, so if I need to level him up later on, I will. This split is going to look absolutely ludicrous, but again, it's just like doing things in different orders. So the ogre said if we needed any help with anything, we could talk to him. So we've got to come back and talk to the ogre and say, hey, this wall won't move. And then naturally the next step is we have to tickle the wall. And this is this is definitely a weird mini game that I can easily fail, because there's like, you have to like, man, I don't even know, this is gonna sound weird no matter how I say it. So like, you have to touch him in specific areas, but like they're only active after you touch him elsewhere. So there is like a pattern. But whatever I did right there was good enough to wake him up, so we will take it. Okay, so yeah, this one looks like we're going to save a bunch of time, but then there is going to be a split here where we don't save time. Oh no, I have to go here, I think. Yeah. I have to go here and then start walking up like this, or talk to this guy. Which I don't have this written down, but I should. So Ren is noticing that there's another waterfall here, which means we can go further up. And fortunately, I have a pet that can fly. And I think we go this way, and this triggers a scene. And do I have to go up here? No. So we go back down, and then we go into the cave, where we already have a 28-inch Great Brown to give this guy, so... Okay, so we trade the Great Brown, get a rope. And we might have to spend some time here leveling our pet. If he flies this rope up at this growth stage, I will actually be stunned. And that will actually help us in the future. He might just be too small right now to fly the rope up. I'll be damned, he did it. Well. Yeah, so there is some shenanigans going on here in terms of what do I have to do? Like, there are no fish, and then I think maybe I go talk to the tree, but I need a foxtail and a white sema before I do that. So we're going to be spending time here getting all this stuff. And I might as well get the white rice fish while I'm doing all that. Because I'll need that immediately after. So hopefully I get this foxtail quickly. This can take 10 seconds or 2 minutes. Let's see which one it is. Well, it took 10 seconds. Wonderful. Okay, so the white sema is medium shadow south, and it doesn't specify a time of day, meaning that I can probably get it whenever. Aw, man. And I know the white sema hits this specific bait, so I don't have to worry about that. Okay, that is not what we need. I should have switched pets. But it's probably fine. Because I don't think my pet is leveled up enough to break the rocks in the River King area. So I don't get extra places to fish from. This could be a white sema, this could be a regular sema, this could be any number of fish. Oh, Jesus Christ, I hope it wasn't a white sema because I just let it go. Okay, it was a regular sema. I'm okay with that. This might be an IU. We're reaching the part of the run where I have so many points that it might actually be beneficial for me to just like break these things off if I don't think they're the right thing. Because although it looks like we're on pretty good pace right now, I could very easily lose 20 minutes to the white rice fish and the white sema. Obviously, you know, we don't want that to happen, but it could happen. Like, if it doesn't look like a SEMA, I'm probably going to let it go. This could be it. I'm trying to, like, look at it on the capture. No, this is probably an IU again. Oh, maybe not. It's got the weird fin. I don't know. It's hard to tell with these. Yeah, it is. Wow, an 11-inch IU. That's crazy. Well, this is certainly not it, so I'm just going to reel this in as fast as possible. And let it break. Or catch it, if that is what happens. Looks like I'm just going to catch it. It's fine. Hey, what's up, Deca? Deca, we're doing well here. We're going to submit this to a marathon. And it might look like I'm super ahead right now, but you just never know. I have 2 more rare fish to go, and this one is giving me some issues. Was the last fish 3 inches? Okay, so that is a regular SEMA. I don't want that. I want the white SEMA. I feel like I will know it when I see it. I feel like the white SEMA and the white rice fish are pretty obvious with their sprites. Oh, I think this is it. Please be it. I think this is it. Okay, good stuff. Oh, so we got the foxtail and the white SEMA, so now we're ready to move on. So the last thing we need is the white rice fish. So if the white rice fish takes like less than 5 minutes, this is probably a PB. I think I can exit here, yeah. Hope she's available in the morning. I think she is. Yeah. So the cat girl gives us the Heirloom Rod, which we need to catch the River King. Hey, I already have both of those things. What's up, dog? So I'm actually not 100% certain if I need to talk to the tree again. So before I make a mistake, I'm just going to tap him. Nope, not yet. So let's go back up here. I don't see this as a specific time of day. So it should trigger when I walk over here. Yeah, okay. I should have actually went and got the white rice fish first. Actually, it probably works out if I just get all the way to the end and then go back, save, and then get the white rice fish and then save. I have no idea. It is a new, an N-U-E, a new. And it is like a monkey with like a lizard tail and like cat claws. I don't know. I give up. I gave up 10 minutes into this game when there was a talking tree with a mustache. So there's something in this about, like, you have to, like, go spend, like, a few days or, like, an entire day and then come back. I don't know. Yeah. It's a Japanese yokai? Okay. Is that like Yokai Watch? I have Yokai Watch. What a game. Head of a monkey, limbs of a tiger, body of a Japanese raccoon dog, and the front half of a snake for a tail. Wow. That is quite the animal. I'll call that a split. So yeah, this is the area where the River King is located. However, we do not have the white rice fish. So this could have been like an exceptional time if we got that while we were in the pond, but it's fine. It's totally fine. White rice fish is only available morning and night. It is on the shoreline. It is a tiny shadow, and we can get it with our current bait. So this is gonna define. This is gonna make or break the PB here. This is basically it. So we're looking for very small shadow on the shoreline. Oh, come on. And it's gonna be like extremely obvious. That ain't it. So get off my line, please. Or just immediately get caught. So if there's not any tiny shadows on the shore, we can reset. Okay, well there's one right down here, and this one definitely spawned on the shoreline. This is not it. Yeah, I don't like nighttime, but it's only available night or morning. I actually don't even know what this is. I know it's not what we need. The white rice fish looks like a betta fish. Ooh, a fighting fish. Damn. So that's a medium shadow. That's a tiny shadow. Do you want it or no? Bro, you're looking right at it multiple times. Okay, it despawned. Alright, yeah, let's go to morning. Definitely a lot nicer to fish in the mornings. And yet there's no tiny shadow anywhere. Rough. Come on, dude. Turn. Turn. Come on, you want my bait. I know that you do. Please. Please just bite it. Turn around. This is a regular rice fish, which is really unfortunate. Oh, just kidding, it's a guppy. They look very similar. This is it. I'm feeling the white rice fish right here. Bro, you looked right at it. This is it. This is it. This is, depending on the River King, this is quite possibly a new world record on top of a marathon submission. Okay. Time to go save the game. And of course, the reason we are saving the game is because... Oh, also, this is pretty cute. So, the way that this works is that... the saving the game is you telling your, like, comatose sister about your journey so far, which I think that's kind of neat. You know what? I'm going to tell him no, I did not. Not yet. Because I need to put the right stuff on. Heirloom Rod. Where are my baits? I should have gotten a legendary bait. Okay, so we're burning time here. I feel like one of the quests was supposed to give me legendary bait, so I'm not sure why I don't have any right now. Now that I equipped that stuff, I'm gonna save again, just so I don't have to do that again if the River King decides to not bite. Which, that is like probably... This can easily lose me like between 3 and... It takes about 3 minutes all included to like load the game and then come back in and run here and talk to the guy and then attempt to catch the River King. Like, so I'm hoping that the River King just bites immediately. Because he only lasts for about 30 seconds or something crazy, and then he goes away. Okay, he's at the edge. This is good. Okay, he kind of blew me off there with a really good cast. No. Okay, so he was in the process of biting and went away. So the way the game works is the new keeps asking you for rare fish, and the more different kinds of rare fish you bring to him, the more kinds of fish that you bring to him, the longer the River King stays available. So, like, for the white rice fish, the River King only stays, like, 30 seconds. And, then when you bring him the next fish, which there's like a list. When you bring him the next fish... Oh, whoops. When you bring him the next fish, then the River King stays up for, like, a minute. And then when you bring him the next fish, the River King stays up for, like, a minute and a half, etc., until you beat the game. Obviously, for the sake of the speedrun, we just want to catch the River King immediately with the white rice fish. Okay. And there is, like... The River King should never be inaccessible because you do have chum, and you can, like, bring the River King, like, towards you. So we could lose the record right here if the River King decides not to bite. But it's fine. This is I'm playing on a DS. This is a capture card. Which is why if I'm hunched over like a gremlin, that's the reason. So I was hoping for the sub 215, but the white rice fish and now the River King have determined absolutely not. Where's he at? Okay, he is not in a great location because I had to spend time running over to him. Bite my bait. You asshole fish. Can you please bite my bait? Wow, dude. Yeah, this is probably the worst luck I've had with the River King actually biting. I'm just going to make sure my equipment is right. Heirloom Rod, legendary bait. And he absolutely 100% bites on this combination. Oops, wrong fish. It could very possibly, like, if I do get this accepted into the marathon, it could very possibly be worth it going for the second fish as well, just to give myself that, like, little bit of extra time. So this is a good location specifically because I don't have to move. See, that's how it should go. And here he is, ladies and gentlemen. Here is the River King. This fight is long. This fight is not easy. And we certainly don't want him to break off. You see how he's cruising off to the side. You get stuck in these loops of having to pull him back in over and over and over. But he does get tired out. He's not invincible. But But you can see here, it is frustrating because he pulls to the side. You don't even get a chance to reel. But eventually, you do get a chance to reel a little bit at a time. Bring him in. Have to pull him back over to the side. Let the tension drop. Pull him back over to the side. So on and so forth. So that was a ton of progress. And time ends when I reel in the River King. But obviously I'm going to keep going to the credits. I would like to get it timed to the start of the credits. So I'm going to keep having my runs go that far. New record, 2:23:04. Let me get the screenshot real quick. Oh, whoops. Why is the River King possessed? Because, I don't know, we gotta feed his demonic scales to our sister. Well, this one, it was my own run that I beat. And yeah, there's like 2 more minutes and then the credits start, and the credits go for like a minute. So I would like to get this, I would like to time this run all the way to the credits, because as of right now, like, we still have inputs, right? Like, we still have to progress the text. Yeah, that's true. No, I appreciate the props, but you know, I beat my own time in a category where I think there's only one other runner. So, but still, I think this is like a super interesting game. I think it's a really fun speedrun. I just wouldn't want it to ever grind it out for perfect fish luck. So yeah, in conclusion, pick me for your marathon, because I think this game is pretty interesting. Yes, the RNG is immensely problematic, as in the estimate could be 2 hours and 20 minutes or 2 hours and 50 minutes, but hopefully as time goes on, we'll figure out, like, the best places to catch everything, and that won't be a concern. So you can see our sister has finally risen from her slumber. And so we saved the day with the power of fishing. Boom. Credits. Retro, thank you for staying awake. Thank you for cheering me on. I appreciate it. Thank you for inspiring me yesterday to get the DS all set up. Well, I appreciate you making it all the way to the end, Retro. And yeah, here's my proof call or whatever about it being on actual console with my many cords all attached to it. Yeah, thank you for the good luck. I appreciate that.